Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is December 12th, and right now we're looking at the infrared satellite imagery. You can see the frontal system that swung through last night and on the early portions of the day today, now pushing off to the east. Next storm looms out across the Pacific Ocean, Abeam, Oregon. This monster out here is going to pack another punch. It's going to bring some big winds, big waves, big rainfall, and big snowfall to the higher terrain. We'll go into all of those details here as we go through the video today. And if we scroll back towards midnight tonight, look at that frontal system all the way from Northern California across the Bay Area. Moderate heavy rainfall at times, swooped all the way down towards Point Conception. A little bit of rainfall, tried to round the point there and get down towards Southern California, but probably just very light amounts at best. Let me know if you felt a couple of raindrops out there across Southern California. Wish we had more to share with you on that, but the upper level low continues to spin across some of the Bay Area and across Northern California as we speak. Next storm up is very far off to the northwest there, but that is coming starting tomorrow morning. Now, if we take a look at storm reports, check that out. Rock slide during rain event southbound US 199. Rocks hit a semi-truck. And if we go down towards the Bay Area, something that might be ongoing here for the next couple of days, Highway 101 northbound off-ramp flooded. So yeah, we're probably gonna have more of these here over the next couple of days. Now we have flood watches up, 2 to 5 inches of rainfall expected. This right here is for Northern California. Eureka National Weather Service. This was updated here just a couple hours ago. Turn around, don't drown, don't drive over those flooded roadways. An increased risk of rock and mudslides along the roadways will be present. We have winter storm warnings. And the cutoff here for the biggest snowfall amounts is about 3,000 feet. So that's why it's very important to know your exact elevation where you may live. There's no way you can get any meteorologist to cover all the different terrain features you have across Northern California. So know your elevation. Biggest snowfall amounts above 3,000 feet, 10 to 23 inches, winds gusting as high as 35 miles per hour. But some of the snow totals could be still quite high towards 3,000 feet. And if we back out a bit here, you can see that we have some widespread winter storm warnings for the higher terrain. That does include places like Mount Shasta. There's high wind warnings and high wind watches out there. We got coastal flood advisories, high surf advisories, you name it, we got it. It's looking like a fruitcake. That's how you know things are crazy. And this high surf advisory is ongoing as we speak. 4 a.m. Friday. We're going to get a little bit of a break here on the day Friday, but then the waves are going to return on Saturday, and those are going to correlate with the king tides. Big waves, big winds, king tides. That does not sound like a fun day on the coastline unless you want to see some crazy action, maybe some beach erosion out there. So that is what we'll be looking at here in the weather models. But ongoing today, 18 to 22 feet, large breaking waves. Don't turn your back on the ocean. And this is the Bay Area kind of showing the wind advisory for some of the Sacramento Valley. We've got high wind watches for the coastal areas. We could be getting some gusts over 50 miles per hour, approaching 60 miles per hour for some of the coastal areas. It could be even hitting portions of San Francisco and the Bay Area and places inland. I'll show you the weather models on that here in a moment. But we got the significant rainfall, just kind of showing you what kind of rainfall totals we're expecting. I mean, 1.5 to 2 inches there as we go through Friday and Saturday for San Francisco. Heavier amounts the further you go north. And now, again, the flood watch here, just trying to draw attention to the timeline through 4 p.m. Saturday. They may extend that a bit further south as we go through the day today. That might just include more of the Bay Area here. I don't expect it further on down towards the central coast. Should be fairly progressive. That's the same high surf advisory we just looked at, but the high wind watch. So here we go. Friday night through Saturday morning, you can see it all the way up and down the coastline. Does include the Bay Area, Santa Cruz, Big Sur, down towards Gorda here. And, you get towards the higher terrain here, up over 900 feet. You're looking at gusts of 70 miles per hour or greater. And yeah, gusts to 50, but some of these could be even locally higher. From looking at the high resolution models, I saw some gusts up towards 60 miles per hour. Los Angeles, there still are some wind advisories. You can see the beach hazard statements. We got some high surf advisories out there, some big waves rolling around, but not much precipitation to speak of with this next system. I wish I had better news on that front. Now, San Diego, California is mentioning maybe the light rain as we go through tonight, but again, it's not amounting to much. Now let's start to take a look at the weather models. This is about where we are, about 4 p.m. right here. It's about 3:30 as I'm doing this briefing right now, but you can see the upper level low continuing some of this precipitation as we go towards tomorrow morning. But look at the next storm system already knocking on the door, bringing very heavy rainfall to portions north of the Bay Area initially. And then you can see that frontal system swooping down across the Bay Area as we go through Saturday morning. Big snowfalls incoming here for the Sierra Nevada. Central coastline getting a good shot of rain, but it is fairly progressive. Maybe a little bit of light rain trying to round Point Conception, which is right about there, but not much making it to Southern California. So that's the next 60 hours. And again, that is a very powerful frontal system moving in Friday morning and coming down all the way through Saturday afternoon across the central coastline. Now, if you take a look at the HRRR, this is the 18Z. This only goes out 48 hours, but this is what the Doppler radar may look like. And again, it's picking up the upper level low quite well. We go on in through this tonight and tomorrow morning and look at that slug of moisture pouring on here. And again, moderate to heavy rainfall at times as we go through Friday night, and look at Saturday morning. Look at this frontal system just rolling through. And there's some impressive showers showing up for some portions here behind that frontal system as well. So that's what the Doppler may look like here over the next 48 hours. Now, 80-meter wind speed. So it's a bit blustery on the coastline here as we go through this afternoon. If you're out there, you don't need me to tell you that. We get a bit of a break on Friday as the next system arrives. And you see the southerlies really pick up across Northern California. You can see the bit of a coastal jet up the Oregon coast there, and a semblance of that down a little bit further south. But this frontal system is going to be packing enough of a punch on its own. I mean, look at some of these winds. Look at this Bay Area, just really hammer time here as we go through Saturday morning. Some of these could be damaging winds, and then we get the big wind shift out of the west and the northwest as we go through the late Saturday morning period here as it swoops across the area. And you can see big winds coming for the higher terrain of the Sierra Nevada as we go through the day Saturday. Also, coastal range here, you're going to get some strong westerlies and then down across Southern California as you go through Saturday evening. Very powerful frontal system. Good thing that thing is fairly progressive. It doesn't hang up too much and doesn't bring us too much in the way of the extreme flooding. I mean, there might be some flooding concerns out there, but it doesn't look like the super high-end stuff, thank goodness, because it's a very progressive front. And if we look at the North American high-resolution model, 10-meter max wind gusts, so you're getting gusts up into the mid-30s here, maybe on the coastlines. But then as the next system arrives, look at this. Once you get into these yellows here, that's 48 miles per hour, and you get to the orange, and it's 50. So you see the 50-mile-per-hour gusts, and maybe even more, 60 here for some of the coastal areas as we go through Friday afternoon. And then we go through Friday night and we get towards Saturday morning now. And look at the Bay Area. Some of these gusts could be getting up towards 60 miles per hour. Some of the interior areas towards Sacramento as well. I mean, you're talking about upper 50s and 60 mile per hour. Those would be damaging. And those look like they're down across some of the valley areas. You're talking about, down towards Modesto and Stockton and whatnot. Some very strong winds as we go through Saturday morning, and then the coastal range again as we go towards Saturday afternoon. And you don't have to be a meteorologist to look at that map and see that it's going to be very strong across some of the exposed ridges and the higher terrain there of the Sierra Nevada. And look at some of the foothill areas. I mean, just a very potent storm rolling in here, you guys. Now, let's look at the European and see if that agrees. So here we go through Friday. And again, look at some of these gusts, 60 plus mile per hour for the coastal areas. And it's showing those 50 plus for Sacramento as well. So yeah, this is no joke. And it goes all the way down, some of the central coast here as well. So really got to watch that. Be prepared for those very strong winds Friday night through Saturday morning. Now, this is where we are right about now, and this wave action is going to be picking up as we go through tonight. I thought this was a little bit higher right now, so I stand corrected. This is going to be actually increasing as we go through tonight and this evening, and then we get a little bit of a break on the day Friday, but then another shot of waves. These are still quite elevated waves that are going to be associated with the king tide activity here, and again, the very strong winds bunching those waves up, pushing that water towards the coastline. That could be a sight. You probably, if you live down there across the Bay Area and the coastal regions, you've seen that from time to time, how these king tide events can get pushed up and they can start to flood some of the local areas, especially on the coastal regions and even in the Bay Area for some locations. Now, 24-hour snow totals. I'll put this into motion. And this actually, if I stop this right here, this is as of Friday morning. So the upper level low is still kicking off some of the snowfall as we go through tonight. A little bit of a break here, but then you can see we bring that next system in here and these pretty impressive looking 24-hour totals across some of the Sierra Nevada. A lot of this is exceeding a foot. And then we scroll through here, and then it looks like another system is going to be rolling through as we go through the early portion of next week. So we'll watch that one here in the upcoming days. Now, 12-hour precipitation. This is 12-hour totals, not 24. So there's the upper level low initially. Then the next storm system rolls in here. Again, a very potent frontal system. I mean, look at some of these 12-hour totals approaching 2 inches here in a lot of areas, up over an inch in 12 hours. Could cause some flooding. And then you see the Bay Area just really getting hammered as that strong front moves down across the region Saturday morning. And then this thing just loses its steam by the time it rounds point conception, not bringing much rainfall at all to Southern California. We can look out towards that next system as well, and you can see another round of rainfall, not nearly as heavy, and then who knows what's going to happen after that. We'll worry about that in upcoming days. So the day 2 excessive rainfall outlook, this should be no surprise if you just watch this entire video. Slight here, and this is going to be on the day Friday, and this is very early Saturday morning here, and this may get extended down towards the Bay Area a little bit more. We'll see if they update that later. Total precipitation in inches. So I'm going to scroll through this pretty quick. This is the 18Z run. So let's go ahead and look at this. This is hot off the presses. This is running as we speak. Let's put this into motion. There's the upper level low. So if I back that up, you can see a little bit more rainfall maybe coming for the Bay Area as we go through tonight. Another 1/10 or 2/10 of an inch of rain. But then the bigger bulk of precipitation arrives as we go through Friday. And look at some of these amounts showing up, even down towards the Bay Area. We're getting some totals up towards 2 inches here. Again, doesn't make its way down towards the Los Angeles metro or anything, but still a big rainmaker coming in as we go through the day Friday on and through Saturday morning. Snowpack should benefit nicely from this next round of storms. We are slightly above where we should be. The green line is the median, but we are very early in the season. So it's just nice to watch this pile up a little bit here and maybe stay on the above average side. And we'll see what is to come as we go on in through January at a later date. So anyway, I'll try to get this video out here. Hopefully you guys are liking these videos. Click like and subscribe. We will do this all again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.